talk a little bit about what are the risks that hypnotists are taking when they perform regression on clients? Because I know, like here, we don't do regression, and we have gentler ways to help people forgive and let go, or build their future. But we do have a lot of people in Ontario who are really into regression, and a lot of students who are wanting to learn that. So talk about that area a bit.
I mean, the whole David Ellman Omni school of hypnosis is built around regression and abreaction. In the guild terminology, we define regression as an imaginative review of significant events with the hypnotist serving as guide. Okay, that's our non-therapeutic definition of regression. It checks all the boxes for non-therapeutic. We're not saying we're regressing you to an earlier ego state where you become identical to a childlike consciousness and become incapable of distinguishing present from past. We don't do that. That's not how we define regression. Again, it's the words that come out of your mouth that'll get you into trouble. Mm-hmm. The other thing is you got to be careful about regression. I'm not a big fan of it. I will occasionally do it. I certainly know how. I'm much more willing to use gentler means that rewrite imprints that a client may have, because I think they're dramatically safer. My purely personal impression, after someone has been in this field a long time, is that even people who specialize in doing regression and abreaction get it wrong about 25% of the time. And I have worked with people who have, to my mind, have been harmed by a careless regression done by a hypnotist. And here in the United States, especially here in the Chicago area, there's a real issue with regression because we were the center of the satanic panic in the 1980s and 90s. This is when a psychiatrist and a psychologist based at Rush Medical Center, running the Dissociative Disorders Clinic, used hypnosis and other psychiatric techniques to convince people that all of their problems were due to ritual cultic abuse in childhood. And they started the entire satanic panic, which swept the whole nation. Lots of innocent people were hurt, were harmed. Lots of people were caught up in this. And what the hypnotists were doing is they were creating rampant false memories, which is very easy to do. Mm-hmm. And so you have people who will say, I have these clear memories of being incested by my father, but there's absolutely no evidence that it ever happened. Or I remember giving birth to these babies that were used for satanic rituals, but my doctors say there was no evidence I've ever been pregnant. That's false memory. I don't teach basic hypnosis anymore, but when I used to, and occasionally when I teach the Ericksonian class, I'll, just as a demonstration of how easy this is to do, I will take a volunteer from the class and using conversation only, no hypnosis, I will, in front of the class, program a false memory into the volunteer. It's that easy to do. And you add hypnosis into that, it becomes even more. Rush Medical Center ended up paying one of the largest malpractice settlements in United States history because of what those people were up to. They all lost their licenses, but more significantly, hundreds, maybe thousands of people were harmed.
Mm-hmm. And
so you got to be careful using that technique.
Yeah, and really, in my view, it's unnecessary. I as well know how to do it. I've done it very rarely, and there's so many gentler ways and less risky ways to help people. So it really seems unnecessary from my view. I know that this is a controversial topic, and a lot of people are very into regression in this field. But I think that the evidence that we need to look at is that insurance companies make you get extra insurance if you perform regression. And so they know from their point of view, that it is a greater risk.
Because they know that when there are court cases, that tends to be what it's about. And sometimes I've seen people, often with very casual levels of training, doing these regressions. And what I see is the hypnotist is just on a power trip.
Hmm. Yeah, or it's the soap opera. They love it for entertainment. It's intriguing. It's an adventure, and they don't realize what the risks are.
You do shoot at tears, and that makes me feel powerful about me.
Hmm.
That's all I have to do.